Hey guys!
Hello!
Greg is back with me again today because lots of you requested that you wanted to see him in my videos again. Yay! Are you happy?
Yes!
So I've been getting tons of questions about going to school in Japan, what it's like, how I got into a university in Japan, and like a million things like that. So I decided we should do an updated version of my school in Japan Q&A. So that's what we're gonna do today. And I asked on Twitter for your guys' questions, and you sent me tons of good ones, so thank you so much. So I'm gonna be looking at my phone and reading your guys' questions off here, so let's get started. Okay, so first of all, how did you guys get into school in Japan? Well, me and Greg both did different programs. Actually, I started off with the same program that Greg did, which was a one-year language program just to come here and learn Japanese language and culture. And then I transferred into the school to finish my bachelor's, so the process is a little different. In Greg's case, he started off at American University, right? Mm-hmm. And then how did you end up here?
Well, I talked to my Japanese teacher about wanting to study abroad in Japan, and then she's the one that referred me to our international center. And then from there, our international center, since most schools usually have sister schools with schools in different countries, I came here to Tokyo, so I studied here for 1 year Japanese and the Japanese culture.
Yeah, that was how I started off. I was enrolled in a university in Canada, and then I just went to the International Center and asked them what kind of programs they have for coming to Japan, and they gave me a list of, I think, 3 schools to choose from. And I just chose to come here for a 1 year Japanese language program to start off with, and I was planning on going home, but I really liked it, so I stayed here and I transferred to the university. But having that 1 year experience here in just the Japanese language program, I made lots of connections at university, and I think it made my transfer process a lot easier. The people in the office were willing to help me out when I had problems with the forms I was filling out and stuff, and I think it was just a good idea to come here for the short program to start off with, just to see if you like it and to build those connections with the school. You can transfer directly into a Japanese university if you want to, but I feel like the process would be more difficult. So personally, I recommend coming here for a short exchange program to start off with. Is tuition in Japan really expensive, especially since you're a foreigner? Well, actually the school we went to, they gave us a discount because we were a foreigner. My university in Canada, they would charge foreign students like, I think, twice or even 3 times the price for tuition. We were really lucky our school here gave a discount to foreign students. So I'm not sure if it's like that everywhere in Japan. It could have just been the school we went to, but it's possible that it is. So what were the requirements for entering the school? Did you have any requirements for entering the language program?
We had to write like 2 or 3 essays actually. The director of my school actually came and interviewed us also.
Okay. I didn't have any interview when I entered the language program. I did write some essays, just why I'm interested in going. That was about it for entering the language program, but when I wanted to transfer into the school to finish my degree, I needed to fill out maybe 30 forms. They love forms in Japan. You'll spend lots and lots of time filling out forms for everything you do. I did that, and I had an interview with about 3 different teachers, basically just asking me why I wanted to study in Japan, why I thought it would be a good idea to finish my degree here, what I want to do in the future, etc. As for language requirements, you don't need any Japanese for the school that I went to, but I wanted to take some classes in Japanese, so in that case I needed to have the JLPT N2 level to be able to do that. That was about it for requirements. Good grades. You probably need to have good grades, but that's kind of a given. Yeah, that's about it. How hard is it to make Japanese friends?
Well, I don't know. I feel like Japanese people and maybe like American people are very different when it comes to being able to make friends. It's a lot easier to make friends in America, even for a lot of my Japanese friends that went abroad. But to make friends in Japan, it's kind of hard. Or you don't really see them so much, but they still consider you like, oh, but we're friends, and maybe they don't talk to you so much.
Yeah, I think like the definition of friend is different here. Like in Canada, you'd make a friend and you guys would hang out all the time, like on the weekend, you'd always text each other. But here you can be friends with someone and maybe they'll never invite you out anywhere, or they'll never invite you to their parties, but you'll see them at school and you'll wave to them and maybe they'll come over and talk to you at lunch sometimes. But I feel like it's really hard to make like a really good friendship here. Making acquaintances and people that'll come hang out with you at lunch and talk to you is really easy, but making a really good friendship where people are going to invite you out to hang out on the weekends and stuff, I feel like that's harder. Yeah. Would a teacher smash your cell phone if they saw you using it in class? Definitely not. This guy said that he saw a video of a Japanese teacher smashing a student's cell phone. That was probably in high school. I would definitely believe that happened in high school here because they're so strict. But to make up for how like horribly strict they are in high school, the universities are just ridiculously lenient. Yeah. Like I'd say a good 80%, maybe 90% of the students in our classes will just be like staring at their phone, playing games, talking to their friends, watching videos, or sleeping. So yeah, the teachers are they just let you do whatever you want. But it's up to you. If you want to study and get a good grade, you can do that, or if you want to sleep through the whole class and fail, you can do that. The teachers will just let you do whatever you want. Financial stuff. How did you pay for school? You had scholarship.
I had a scholarship
too, right? Yeah, so did I. I got a really good scholarship from an organization called JASO. I will link to it down below. I got, I believe it was like $800, the equivalent of about $800 Canadian a month for 1 year. So that paid for like all my living expenses, and then I just have to worry about tuition. And in Greg's case,
I got a scholarship from my school, actually.
Oh, you made a video about it, right? Okay, I'll link to Greg's scholarship video here, so if you want to hear more about that, but maybe just tell us a little bit about what it's called.
Yeah, so there were 2 scholarships I actually got. There was one from my home university, that I think that was about $2,000. So if you look into what your home university will give you to study abroad, maybe they have something too. And then the second one I applied for it is a U.S. scholarship. It's called the Gilman Scholarship, which I did make a video about, and they gave me $5,000. I think you can get up to $8,000 to actually study abroad, so yeah. Yeah,
so look into scholarships from your home university, your country, and then also look into ones that the Japanese government offer, or maybe the school in Japan offers. There are really tons of different options. And then once I transferred into the school here, I got a scholarship from the university here for about $500 a month for a year. I had that for, so it helps a lot. So definitely look into scholarships. There are so many students that don't bother looking into scholarships, but some of them are really easy to get because just not enough people apply for them. So if you apply, you're like guaranteed to get it. So definitely look into scholarships. Is bullying as big of an issue in Japan as it is in America? We see a lot of stuff on the TV about bullying in Japan. I would say that it's probably around the same level as it is in America. It's probably the same as where once you get into university that kind of stops. It's really just high school and middle school and elementary school where you see a bullying problem in Japan, I'd say. I don't really notice anything in university at all.
Not in university,
no. Can you work as a student? I wonder if it's different per country, depending on your visa. As a Canadian, is it the same for Americans? Are you allowed to work?
Yes, I'm allowed to work.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like as a Canadian and American apparently, you're allowed to work part-time with a student visa, so I could work 28 hours a week. I'm going to make a video all about working in Japan though, so I'll save all the work-related questions for later. I got lots of questions about my part-time jobs and stuff like that, so yeah, I will save that for a future video, and I will link to that video here when it is made. Here, most people party a lot and fail. Are any people like that in Japan?
Yes.
I don't think it's because they're partying.
They just fail.
They just don't do anything. A big chunk of students will just not try, not show up to class at all.
My like next door neighbors, they always have people at their house.
Oh, really?
I mean, I don't think it's like a full-on party, but
yeah, parties here are kind of different than they are in Canada. Like a Japanese party, they just kind of like hang out at home and talk.
And drink, and drink.
Drink like one beer each.
And it's over.
It's really not the kind of partying that you have as an image for like North American or European lifestyles. But I'd say it's not, yeah, it's just because they slack off if any of them fail. Is smoking allowed in Japanese schools?
Yes.
Yeah. So in our school, when we first came, there were, I think, maybe 3 or 4 different smoking areas, like designated smoking areas, but they've brought it down to 1 now, so I think they're eventually trying to phase it out completely. But at the moment, yes, it is allowed, but in designated areas. 休みはいつですか？アメリカで休みは3ヶ月ですね。Let's see, well, for Christmas, we don't get much of a vacation. Sometimes Christmas Day isn't even a vacation. It's not a holiday here. But how long did we get for Christmas vacation? Like 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Yeah. We usually have about 2 weeks in that area, the New Year's area, and then the semester will finish in February. I just finished now at the beginning of February, and then you'll have a break until somewhere around the middle of April. So that's like your big break, really, is the February-April stretch. And then the school year officially starts in April in Japan. You don't really have much of a summer vacation either. How much do we...
3 weeks?
Yeah, 3 weeks or something around August, is it? It's really random. It's a lot different than the schedule, but in Canada. But basically, your big break is February, April, so that's usually the time that I use to travel around or go back to Canada. Alright, so that is the majority of your questions. The ones that I didn't answer were probably related more to work in Japan, so I will answer those in my work video, so look out for that. Thanks for joining us, Greg.
You're welcome. See you next time.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.